Hello, I'm that James guy, and today I am starting a journey. I'm going on a work trip to my Creston branch from Osoyoos, where I live. It is 320 or 330 kilometers, which isn't a big deal with this car. I got the Bolt charged right up to 100%. I'm showing 441 kilometers remaining, but obviously that is going to change big time. If you saw my last video about driving in mountain ranges with an EV, this is a mountain journey. So we're going up 4 mountain passes. And so I know I'm gonna have to charge at some point, and I don't know where. So here's the awesome part about EV on road trips is it's still a bit of a wild card because I know where the chargers are. I just don't know if they work. So you can see here after this mountain pass, you know, we have Castlegar, which is a bigger city. Well, bigger city, it's not that big. You know, I know it has 3 or 4 chargers, so if one doesn't work, whatever, I can always use a different one. And it has the Journey Chevron chargers, which are free. But I just don't know if my battery is going to be dead enough by the time I get there. So it may not charge as quickly, because as I explained last time, EVs really only charge at their peak rate when the battery is less than half full. So, and then you've got this other mountain pass and Salmo has one EV charger. It's a flow charger, which tends to be reliable, but there's only one spot. It's at like the public library or something like that. So I think I'd rather charge in Castlegar because there's a better chance of finding a good charger, but we'll see if the battery's dead enough by the time I get there. I may just go for it and try and see if the one in Salmo works, and if I have to wait for someone else at the charger, so be it. Maybe I'll just have to do that. Get some work done on my laptop or something like that. I packed my EV wall charger along just in case. I don't normally do that, but this time it was like, you know what? It doesn't hurt to bring it. It would be like bringing a coffee cup for a jerry can. No, it would be like bringing a teacup for a jerry can if you had a regular car and you had to go back and forth with a teacup. That's about how fast it'll charge, but last resort, if I wind up getting stuck, if I can get a plug in the wall, I can make it, right? I might have to sit there for a day, but I can make it. So yeah, in my last video when I talked about mountain passes and driving an EV, I showed you this particular route. Here you can see it up on the screen. There's a couple mountain passes. I know I won't be able to make that last one over Kootenai Pass. It's just too high, and it's nearing the end of my journey. So if you want more info on where to time your charges versus your mountain passes, watch my previous video. I'll put a thingy up there for you to click on. And that's kind of it. We'll probably just drive. I'll make a few stops and show you those, and you'll see some beautiful scenery along the way, won't we now? Let's keep driving. All right, so we rolled into Castlegar with about 40% charge left, and I thought, well, it's 40%, so it should charge pretty quick. I've used 38 kilowatt hours of energy. I've gone 220 kilometers, and so since I'm below half, you know, may as well top up here because it's going to be pretty quick. Maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't know what I'll do. We'll see. The Chevron EV charger is no longer free, as you see here on the screen. 55 cents per kilowatt hour. That's still cheaper than gas, but whatever. I'm here, I'll do it, and we'll continue on over the mountain passes. 2 more to go, 2 more mountain passes. All right, that was a 21-minute charge. Cost $8.33, and I put a bunch of energy in. So we'll continue on. We're at 58% charge. That should do it, right? Time to go. We'll keep our eye on that energy, total energy used. That's gonna be really interesting later because it doesn't reset when you do a partial charge. So we're always able to see if we would have made it, you know, for next time had we not charged, and find out where we would have finally run out because we've got about 63 kilowatt hours available. We've used 38 so far. And so when that thing gets up to 63, we can kind of point out on the map how far we would have actually made it. maybe we'd make it all the way. Who knows? But anyway, let's carrying on. We have arrived at our destination in Creston. Well, we're like very close. Here's the crazy thing. Watching the screen, we got to a peak of 57 kilowatt hours used at the top of Kootenai Pass, which means I would have still had 10% remaining in the battery pack had I not charged. So I would have made it. Now in the plains here between Kootenai Pass and this beautiful Creston Valley, there's some flat here. And, you know, I've used a bit more. I'm up to 58. I'll probably have 58.2 when I reach my destination. I'm pretty much there right now. And the interesting thing is about mountain passes that I'm starting to learn. You use a lot more energy going up than you gain coming back down, right? Because you've got aerodynamic load on the car, right? You're not only are you pushing through the air going up, you're still pushing through the air going down. So typically with this car at 105 kilometers per hour, a 7% grade up is using about 55 kilowatts of power, and going down the same grade is putting about 15 to 18 back in. So that's kind of the offset, right? So you don't really gain it all back going down the mountain pass. You gain some of it back, right? And so yep, here we are. We would have made it. We're at 58.3. That would be about 8% remaining of the pack, which, yeah, that's cutting her close, but at least I know I'll probably make it home without charging. So that's the good news. So we'll fast forward to probably on the road home, right? All right, we're halfway home. Not much to basically talk about other than I was able to plug in at my store there for like maybe a total of 24 hours. Maybe could do 12 amps, so 1.4 kilowatts charging there, just level 1. But at my little quaint motel, Valley View Hotel that I stayed at in Creston, the owner was super nice. She left an extension cord out. I was able to plug in and charge overnight. Well, the second night, someone stole my extension cord spot, and there wasn't many spots. You can see here it was a very quaint, old, but clean and nice little place to stay. But I only set it to 8 amps when I charged there, so that's 960 watts. Well, I mean about 1 kilowatt barely. Because the extension cord was a bit sketchy. The plug, the GFCI plug looked old. I didn't want to just blow a breaker, something like that. So I left Creston with about just less than 3/4 charge on the car. So I knew I'd have to charge on the way home. Been uneventful. I made it to Grand Forks. There's a flow charger, which is working wonderfully well. I had about 40 something kilometers left of range, and I have 126 to go. I was giving myself like 60 clicks of buffer. I'm at 183 according to my car right now remaining. So been here for 25 minutes, which let me go get a coffee, a nice muffin at the Boardroom Cafe here in town. Why not stop in, support local, go to the bathroom. So it'll probably be another like couple minutes. Oh look, we're at 186 kilometers remaining. That's 60 kilometers of buffer. So that was 25 minutes just to kind of top up a bit. That'll get me home. Shows me as being at 45% battery pack remaining. You know what? If I give it another couple minutes, range anxiety, it's still a thing, even with electric cars that and routes that but it is what it is. And let's continue on. Okay, I'm home. I wound up charging up to 48%. It cost me $7.32. Way cheaper than those Chevron chargers. I wound up leaving a buffer of about 70 kilometers to get home, and I'm showing 102. So obviously the decrease in elevation gained me a lot. A couple things. Number one, this is probably my last video like this where I'm showing a journey. I've done two. That I think that's, unless you want more, let me know. Maybe the next different journey. I certainly won't repeat any of these because it's going to be the same. But if you like them, like these kind of things, let me know. The other thing, which is interesting, is on this whole trip, it was 700.7 kilometers. I used 113.4 kilowatt hours, meaning I could have made it there in one charge, and I could have made it home in one charge. There it would have been tight, but coming home would have been easy. I've got 63 kilowatt hours. Times 2 is 126, right? So that leaves me with 13 as buffer. So I would have made it home, no problem, had I left my Creston branch at 100% charge. What else? Oh, I am going to do a review on this car, an actual full review of the car itself. I haven't even gotten there yet, but you know I love this car, so it's going to be a great review, a little sneak peek. And yeah, I hope you found this useful or at least mildly entertaining. I will see you next time.